Let's see here. Let's talk about Faye Resnick.
Yeah.
The reason why I want to talk about her is because some of the things that she said are actually supported by evidence that was found later on during the trial and during some of the other inquiry. She became close friends with Nicole around the time of Nicole's divorce, and that was back in '92. And she's key because she and Nicole confided in each other, and she states that Nicole was very open with her toward the end about the abuse and the treatment and all those things. But she said she personally saw OJ lose control with Nicole more than once. And she said OJ would lose control anytime Nicole was seen with a man or talking to a man or anything like that. She said Nicole once mentioned that she dated a particular man, and said his name, and OJ just flew off the handle. And she said she was present when that happened, and this was in public, and anyone could have seen it. She said OJ was screaming at her at that particular time. And the behaviors we hear when Nicole called 911, they kind of sync with the descriptions Faye Resnick would give about OJ's behavior. So I think that's support for some of her statements. She also said, this is coming from Faye Resnick, so it's anecdotal. It cannot be confirmed, but she said she met Ron Goldman twice. And when she met him, they were all together. It was Ron, herself, Nicole, and some of Ron's friends, and they actually went out dancing with some of Ron's friends, according to Faye Resnick. She said another time they were at Starbucks, Faye, Nicole, and Ron and some of his friends, and when they were just standing out there talking, and Simpson drove up in his Bentley, and he walked right up to Ron and said, quote, "This is my wife," end quote. Now, if that's true, Simpson may have known who Ronald Goldman was, or at least seen him before. It might have recognized him on the night of the murders, if what Faye Resnick said is true. Now, we don't know if it's true for sure, but this is her testimony. But the thing is, though, she said Ron and Nicole were not romantically involved at all. I don't know whether they were. I don't know if she was saying this out of respect for Nicole or for what motivation she might, or maybe it's even true that they were never romantically involved. I don't know. So there's not something that we can verify. We do know that they had each other's phone number, but that doesn't prove anything. So that's an open thing for me, whether or not they were romantically involved. I kind of lean toward them not being romantically involved because there's just no evidence.
Okay.
Faye also said that Nicole had been seeing another guy by the name of Marcus Allen. He was also a pro football player. He played with Oakland and I think Kansas City. There was like a kind of a rivalry between OJ and him. So it was confirmed because later on, Nicole admitted that she had a relationship with Marcus Allen while she and OJ were separated. What was not known until later on when Faye brought it up, after OJ and Nicole got back together again, she still saw Marcus Allen. And she said,
wow.
Yeah. She said she drove, this is coming from Faye, so we have to take it with a grain of salt. But I kind of lean toward this being true, that she said she drove by Nicole's condo and saw a car that looks like Marcus Allen's car. So she called Nicole and said, "Hey, is that Allen's car?" And she said, "Yeah, that's it. He was here." And she said she told Nicole at that time, "You're flirting with death," or something to that effect, like you're setting up your own murder. She said she told Nicole that. But prior to that, Nicole had already been telling her that she thought that OJ was gonna kill her. So
do you think that she liked taunting him with that?
Say that again.
Do you think Nicole liked taunting OJ?
Do I
She
find
did some of that on purpose? No, that she taunted him, that she enjoyed like playing him.
It's hard to tell. I mean, she could have. I mean, there was certainly animosity between them. There was an issue that year concerning a property that Nicole had that she had to rent out because she couldn't afford to live there, and there was going to be some. When she sold a property and got some capital gains, then she was supposed to pay some taxes. She was able to avoid paying the taxes by renting it out or something like that. So there was an issue with her owing the IRS money that she avoided. So Simpson always hung that over her head when they weren't getting along, that he's going to turn her in. He actually wrote her a letter about that he was going to have her arrested and sent to prison. So there were some things going on between them. I don't know if she was taunting him or anything. That's just something that's in the realm of speculation. I wouldn't rule it out, though. I think it's a possibility. I think she was playing with danger, though, because she did know how abusive he was, and she believed herself that he was going to kill her. Yes, she has Ron. I'm not Ron, but she has Marcus Allen at her house. When Simpson could easily drive by and see her car there. I think he probably did do that before. I think he stalked her. There was Nicole told, I can't remember who she told. I think it was Denise, that she believed OJ stole her car keys. And it turned out after OJ was arrested, guess what he has on him? He has her car keys on him. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he was stalking her, I'm sure. I mean, he was extremely jealous, and he was very narcissistic and very controlling. And I believe if he couldn't have Nicole in his life, then Nicole would have no one else in her life. So I think that's why he killed her. You're going to have others who are not going to agree with that, who are, they believe OJ is innocent of the crimes that was framed by the police. But we can actually talk about that, and we can go through the evidence and talk about the likelihood that the LAPD were able to do what would have been necessary to pull off a big, huge frame up. I just don't think it's realistic. But we can address